Psalms 139. This can be a cold world, and in many ways it seems like cold-hearted people are winning the day and either dominating or slithering their way to leadership and influence. And the more influence you have, the more resource you can command, while one feeds the other. And when you have the resource and the influence, you can set the agenda and spin the story and frame the narrative to fit your end. And the more you tell the story, the more people are inclined to believe it. And if the story ever does not suit your end, you can just ignore it and start a new one. This is one of the privileges of the powerful and mighty, who appear to operate without accountability or compassion or empathy. In fact, the closest they can get to anything representing kindness is condescension. I'm grateful that our God is not like this. Our God came into this world not to condemn it, but to bear the burden of a human existence with all of its fragility and weakness and wanting in order to satisfy the need for a sacrifice that can save us all. There is no greater love. And that would be one thing, but this same God could not be conquered by death, and instead rose with all power to rule forevermore. And still, more than that, our God used this power to extend a hand of fellowship so we could be more than subjects and slaves, but partakers in God's kingdom, with the ability to do greater things, living abundant and eternal lives as adopted family. I could go on about God's goodness towards us, but the more I think about it, the more I have to stop and just say thank you. And my gratitude feeds my conviction that I can accept no substitute for my fealty. In this God I live, move, and have my being because this God paid the ultimate price so I could live, move, and have my being. As I consider how some have used deception and theft and bluster and bullying and violence to position themselves as rulers who can restrict other people's ability to live, move, and have their being, while holding themselves to lesser standards and flouting the greater good for selfish ambition and self-indulgent lust, I imagine that our God is not pleased. But I have a peace in knowing that our God is too merciful to be finished with us before correcting this imbalance, and too mighty to let the story end until the wicked are vanquished and victory is won. In the interim, my prayer is, search me, O God. Know my heart and my thoughts. See if there is any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting, as only you, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, can do.